Okay, this is a continuation of Sudokuvania. And this is the boss fight specifically. And it's called Skyscraper. Let's just continue. Let's see. I don't really remember what we were doing here. We had two. So we see this one and we see 9. Um 8 has to be one of these two digits here. Because 8 cannot be here. Excuse me. 8 can't be along here. Because if this were not 8, this has to be 8, which means this can't be 8. We need an 8 here, which eliminates 8 being there. Okay, so that's, yeah. This sees 3 this way, so we'll see this one. 8's one of these 4 here. This is a 1 to 2 ratio, 1 to 2 ratio. Wait, if this is 3, this can't be 3. Doesn't one of them have to be 6? Yeah, I think I remember that. It cannot be 3 here. Okay, so shoot. We're gonna have to restart this, because I don't remember which part I messed that up with. Yeah, this can never be 3, because if this is 3, that forces both of these to be smaller, which is 1 and 2. Same here. If this is 3, that's the reasoning that I had previously. So this can't, okay. We're gonna have to restart this because this is not valid to have 3 here with a 1, 2, because that forces a 6 there, which would also force a 6 here. Because these skyscrapers, if this is a 3, it forces this to be 1, 2. Right. Okay. So I don't remember how I eliminated this. This was incorrect. I made a bad assumption here. I remember actually doing something, yeah, something similar here, where if I had a 3, you have a 6 here. And the reason why that is the case is you'll always see the first digit here, and you'll always see the 9 in the same column. Now, 9 cannot be the first digit, so because of the arrow constraint. So because of that, this is always the largest digit. So if this is a 3, that means it has to be a 1 and a 2 in front of it, which forces this to be a 6. But this 3 has to be in a 1 to 2 ratio with a 6. So therefore, a 6 would have to be here, and a 6 would have to be here if either of these are 3. So if this is 3, this becomes 6, and that's 6. If this is 3, this becomes 6 and 6, and those are both contradictions. So you cannot actually have that. So I messed up if my elimination there. So let's restart. So we know then this has to be a 4-6 pair here, right? These are the only ones possible to see only 2 digits and still see the 9 here, right? That means one of these is 6 with a 1, 2, which means one of these must be 9. Therefore, since this is 9, there cannot be a 9 in any of these cells. This has to be with 3, 2, and 8. 2, 3, and 8 here. Again, if it's 6, it has to be with 1 and 2. If it's 4, I guess it cannot be 2, 3, 4. Because the 9 would be here, one of these, with the 1, 2, 6. So if it's 4, it would have to be 1, 3, or 1, 2. Either way, there's a 1 in one of these 2 cells. So that is still the same. I don't remember how I eliminated 6. It was incorrect. I'm not sure why I eliminated it that way. Anyways, that means the other digit has to have a 4 with it, which means this is 7, 8, or 9. And we know 9 has to be one of these 2. So 9 cannot be here. 9 cannot be here because if we have a 9 cannot be here on this arrow, and it can't be one of the first 2 digits because that would make this skyscraper or whatever skyscraper clue only see 2 skyscrapers. So this can't be 9. We know that can't be 9. 9 has to be here then. So this is a 9, which means 9 cannot be any of these digits. Therefore, 9 must be one of these 2. If it's here, the problem is it will see a 7 in one of those digits. So this can't be 9. This is then a 9. We know all of these digits must be smaller than that one to see only 2. So this must be then 6, which makes this a 3. This can't be 3. This is a 4 here. This has to be a 1-2 pair here. And this is 1 and 2, which means this is a 9 here. So this cannot be 9. The rest of these digits are 3, 4, and 5. To add up to be less than the 6th so that it only sees 2 digits, or 2 skyscrapers. This must be 8, and this must be 7. And that's the reasoning why we have this. So this is 3 at least, which makes this 5 or 6. This is 1 or 2, because we have 2 degrees of freedom. Actually, only 1 degree of freedom here. So this can't be 5. This is 1 or 2. So this is 5 or 6 here. 1 has to be here. 1 has to be here in boxes 1 and 3. Therefore, 1 cannot be here. 1 cannot be here. 1 can't be either of these. Therefore, this is a 1. Right, I remember this now. So this is 1 or 2. It has to be with... If it's 1, it has to be with 2. If it's 2, it has to be with 1 or 4. Either way, the 2 does have to be here. Which means we have a 2 in one of these 3 cells here. This can no longer be 9, since this can't be 9. 8 can't be on the arrows. 8 can't be here. Right, I remember this part. This was 8, right. So one of these 2 was an 8. Remaining digits are 5, 7. This has to be at least 3 and 4 here. It could be 3, 4, 3, 5, or 4, 5. So this is 7, 8, or 9. But it cannot be 9 because of this 9. So this is 7 or 8 here, which means a 3 has to be one of these 2 digits. So the rest of the digits are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 specifically. This can't be 9. This cannot be 4. This can't be 2 here, so this is 5, 7, 8, 9. And this could be 2, 5, 7, 8, 9 here. We're not sure which. So, this is either 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7, right? 2, 5, 2, 6, or 2, 7. Either way, it cannot be 5. Or it's 3, 5, or 3, 6. We're not sure which. So either way, this has a 2 and a 3. This has a 2 and a or 3. To add up to these arrows. Therefore, the rest of this box 7 cannot contain a 2 or 3. So this is 5, 7, 8, 9. We have a 5, 7, 8, 9 quadruplet in column 1, which eliminates 5, 7, 8, and 9 from the rest of the column. Therefore, this is 2. This is 2. This is 2. The rest of this cannot be 1, 2, 3, or 4, so it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here. The rest of this must be 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, but this can't be 2. The rest of box 4 is 4 through 9. This can't be 9, though. 9 can't be here. 9 can't be here. So 9 is one of these 3. 9 cannot be here. And we only see 2 digits here. So this has to be smaller than 4. This is the 2 or 3 then. And it has to be next to a 9. Which means the rest of these digits must be 5, 6, 7, 8 triplets. This can't be 8 though. This can't be 7 because this cannot be 8 either because of the 1, 2, 3 triplet here, right? Because this 4 means this 2 skyscraper clue means we only see the 4 and we see the 9. And that's it. So these 3 have to be unseen, which must be less than 4. Okay, so we have a 9, 9, 9 here. 9 cannot be here. 9 could be here. 8 has to be one of these 2 digits. We have 5, 6, and 7 here. That means this is at minimum adding up to 7. So this is 8 or 9, but it cannot be 8 because the 8 in row 7 has to be one of these 2 cells. So this must be a 9. So this is a 9, which means this can't be 9 and this can't be 9. So 9 is one of those 2. We can have up to 3 here. This can't be 2 though because of that 2. So you could have 3, 5, and 1. This is up to 3 also. If this is 1, this has to be 2. This is 2, this is 1 or 4. This is 3, this is 6. Okay. 8 has to be one of these digits, which means this cannot be 8 here. So this is 7 at most. It has 4 digits that are less than it, because 4 unique digits that are less than it, because these 4 digits must add up to this. So this is 5 at least. This must be 1 through 6, 1 through 6, 1 through 6 here. But these cannot be 2. This can't be 3 here. This must contain a 1 or 2 here. This must contain a 1 or a 3 here. So this 1 and 2. So to add up to at most 7, you have to have one digit that's from 1 or 2. So one of these is 1 or 2. This is 1 or 2. The rest of the row cannot contain 1 or 2. So it must be 4 through 8 here. This is 4 through 7 because it can't be 8. Similarly here, this is 1 or 3. This is 1. One of these must be 1 or 3 to add up to 7. So the rest of the row cannot contain 1 or 3. So this is 4 through 9 here. But this can't be 9 because of this 9. This is 4 through 9 here. Let's see. The rest of box 3 must contain 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. No 2, though. Okay. This must see 3 cells to the 9. So this can never be 8. It could be this can't be, well, it could be 1 actually. You see only 3 digits. That's possible. This can't be 8 here. So none of these 2 are 8. You see an 8 here. This can no longer be 9. So 9 has to be one of those 2. Let's see. It always sees this digit. It always sees that digit. 1 cannot be here. And 1 can't be here. So one of these two digits is a 1, which means we do not have a 1 in the rest of that column. Hmm. 9 cannot be here. So 9's either here or here, but that doesn't really help us much. What about other skyscraper clues? Huh. Hmm. If this is 3, that would mean this has to be 6. So this could not be 6. This would have to be 5, which would force this to be 1, 3, 1. But if this is 3, this would have the 5 and a 1 here. And there would be a contradiction here then, because there would be 2 1s in that box. So this can never be 3, which means this can't be 6. We do know then this has to be a 2. Which means we have a 2 in box 9 in columns 7 and 8. Same with box 3. There has to be a 2 in columns 7 or 8, which eliminates 2 from the rest of columns 7 and 8. So this can no longer be 2. It has to be 1 here, which forces this to be not 1. This is 2. Then this must be 3. This must be 1. This must be 2. And this has to be 6. So 2 cannot be any of these cells. 2 can't be any of here. So where is the 2 in box 6? It must be here, which forces this to be 9. Therefore, 9 cannot be here. This can't be 2. Therefore, this must be a 2 here. This can't be, this could be 1. So we've lost 1 degree of freedom, which forces, I think, that to be a 1 then, because it cannot be 2, 3, and 5 adding up to 8. So this is 1. This must then be 6. So none of these are 6. This can no longer be 7 because we can't have a 7 and a 2 here, adding up to 9. These can't be 1. This actually cannot be 1 either. This has to be a 1 because it does not contain a 2 or a 3. This has to be at least 3 and 4 here, which adds up to 7. So this is a 7. So we have a 7 here, which forces this to be 8, which makes this 1, 3, and 4 added together. Therefore, this can't be 3 here. This must be a 2 here to add up with 7, 5, 6, or 7 to add up to 7, 8, and 9. This must be 2 here. These can no longer be 7 or 8. This can't be 7. This can't be 6. These can't be 6. We have a 4, 5 pair here, which eliminates 4 and 5 from the rest of the box. Therefore, this is a 3, 6 pair, which means this can't be 6. This can't be 6. These can't be 4. This can't be 4 because of this 4. So this must be a 5. This can't be 5 or 8, which eliminates, we have a 6, 7 pair, which eliminates 6 and 7 from the rest of box 4. This can't be 7. This can't be 6 or 7 here. This 5 here means this is a 4. This 4, this 1 must add up with another digit to add up to 7, and therefore it's a 6. This can no longer be 4. This is a 5, 8 pair, which eliminates 5 and 8 from the rest of box 4. So this is 4, 9. This cannot be 4 or 6 or 5, so this is a 7 here. That leaves this as a 5, 8 pair here. We have 1, 2, and 8 here. 2 cannot be here or here, therefore this must be a 2. If we have an 8 here, we only see 2 skyscrapers, the 8 and the 9. So this must be the 8 here, which makes this a 1. This can no longer be 8. This can't be 8, so therefore this can't be 6 because the 2 must add up with this digit to add up to that digit there. This can't be 1 or 6. This can't be 1 or 6. We want 1 or 6 here. No 2s, because we already have the 2. These can't be 6 either. These can't be 3. The remaining digits here are 3, 4, 5, and 7. Okay. We have 5, 7, and 8 here. The remaining digits in box 9 are 1, 3, 4, and 6. This can't be 1 or 6. 1, 3, 4, 6. 1, 3, 4, 6. This can't be 7 because of this 7, which forces this to be 5. This is 8. This is 7. This 8 means this can't be 8, so it's 5 and 8. We have a 3. None of these can be 5. Where is the 5 in box 3? It must be here. So this is 5, which eliminates 5 from being here and here and here. Therefore, where is the 5 in column 1? Can't be any of these cells. It must be here. So this 5 means this can't be 5, so this is 7, which makes that a 9. This can't be 9 here. We have a 7, 8 pair in box 1, which eliminates 7 and 8 from the rest of the box. Therefore, we now have a 3, 4, 5 triplet in box 1, which eliminates 3, 4, and 5 from the rest of the box. This can't be 4. This is a 9. Which makes that a 4, which makes that a 9. This can no longer be 4. This can't be 7. This can't be 7, 5, or 9. Therefore, this is 6. This is 8. This is a 6 because of this 7, which makes that a 7. This 8 eliminates that 8, so this is a 5 and an 8. That makes this a 3, which makes that a 4, which makes that a 7. That they add up the 3 and the 4. Therefore, that's an 8. This is a 5. This cannot be 3 because of this 3. So this is a 1. This is 3. This 1 eliminates that 1, so it's a 2, 1. These cannot be 7 here. This cannot be 5 here. This can't be 1 here. We have a 3, 4, 3, 4 pair in column 9, which eliminates 3 and 4 in the rest of the column. Therefore, this can't be 3 or 4. It's 6, which means this can't be 3, 4, or 6. It's a 1 here, which forces this to be 4, which makes that a 3. These can't be 3 anymore. These can't be 4. This can't be 3 here, so this is 4, which makes that a 3. 1 cannot be here. Cannot be here. Therefore, where is the 1 in column 4? It has to be here. So this is 1. This cannot be 8 because of the 8 in the column. This can't be 8 because of the 8 in the row. Therefore, this is 7. This can't be 4 because of the 4 in the row. So this is a 3. This is a 4. That's 3 in the corner. We celebrate. This 7 means this can't be 7. So this is 6. This is 8. This 6 eliminates that 6, so it's 3 and 6. This 3 eliminates this 3, so it's 5 and 3. This can't be 7 anymore because of the 7 in the column. So this is 4, this is 7, this is 4, and this is 5. And we enter a 2 into this puzzle's boss cell in Sudokuvania. Okay, so we kind of messed that up earlier, but so we have to enter a 2 for the boss cell. Okay, and we're getting back to where we started. Oh, no. Okay. I thought they'd reset again. So in the boss's cell, this is a 2. Which means this can't be 2. This is a 1, which makes that a 2. This cannot be 1 then. Where is the 1 in box 2? For this grid, it has to be here. Okay, this is a 2, which means this cannot be a 2 here. Sky. We have the skyscrapers, I think it's called. So this sees 2, it sees 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that works. So 1 of 6 or 7's here. This has to be 9, 5, and 1 of, and it has to be 1 of 6 or 7. So 5, 9, and 1 of 6 or 7, because the 3 has to be one of these two digits, because it sees 1, 2, 4, it sees 1 out of 6 or 7, it sees 8, and it sees a 9. But this can't be 9 here, this can't be 6 here. This is 5 or 7. The remaining digits here cannot be 9. You can't have 2. Okay, what are we looking for here then? Skyscrapers. This sees all 3 of these. It sees the 5, it sees 1 out of 6, 7, it sees the 9. This sees 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, so that's fine. It sees 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 6 digits, so that's fine. Where is the 8 in box 9? Can't be any of these cells, can't be any of these cells, can't be these two, it must be here. So this is an 8. The remaining digits in box 9 have to be then... Well, okay, where's the 1 in box 9? Can't be here either. Can't be here, can't be here. So it must be here. So this is a 1, which means 1 cannot be either of these cells. Must be 2, so this is remaining digits are 2, 3. Okay, so the remaining digits in box 9 are 2, 3, 4 with a 6 or 7. It cannot be 3 here. So this is 2, 4 with a 6 or 7 here. But this can't be 2. So in box 9, we know the 2 has to be one of these two cells, which eliminates 2 in the row. Therefore, this can't be 2. Therefore, this is a 2 here. Remaining digits here in row 9 are 4, 5, and 7. This cannot be 4 here. Remaining digits in box 8 are what? 3, 4, 3 through 7, essentially. But this can't be 6. This can't be 6. Where is the 6? This can't be 4. This can't be 4. We know then that the 6 has to be here in box 8. So this is a 6, which means this can't be 6. This can't be 6 either. Do we have anything else? Oh, we maybe have other skyscrapers. Yes. Okay, so then, yeah, the factory works now. So therefore, we fix the factory problem here. Okay. We're resetting because I don't know how to get back to the normal state. So the factory is all kosher now. We have a skypeeper here. Yep, that was what it was. Okay, so that's what solved it for here. So this cannot have a 9 here. It can't be 7 because we see 4 digits, right? So this can't be 7. We see 4 skyscraper clues, so we have a 4, 5, 4, 5 pair in column 1, which eliminates 4 and 5 from the rest of the column. Therefore, this can't be 4. This is a 3, which means this can't be 3. This has to then be a 4. So this cannot be 4 here, and this can't be 3 here. This eliminates 3, 4, and 5 from the rest of column 1. Therefore, that forces this to be 9, which makes this a 7. This 9 eliminates that 9, so it's an 8, which makes this a 4, which makes that an 8. This 9 eliminates this 9 here. So this cannot be 8. This can't be 8. This can't be 8. This can't be 8. That forces this to be 7, which makes that an 8. This can no longer be 7 here or here or here. And 7 can't be here either. 8 can no longer be here. 8 can no longer be here. Where is the 8 in box 7? It has to in grid 2. It has to be here. So that's an 8, and we see the boss now. Okay, so we can clear that. We see an 8 here, so it must see 3 digits and a 9. We don't know where the 9 is, though. So it cannot be 1 or 4 here. It's 5 or 6. We now do the boss for the quarters. Click here to, okay. We've got a problem with this link. Okay. Unfortunate. Okay, so oof. We'll have to type this out. Okay, so this is US2ZX7UYNR. Okay, we've done this before, I think. Keymaster. A maze of corridors that once housed the servants, perhaps the naked singles of Sudokuvania. Most of the doors are locked. Ready to play. Okay. So we've done Keymaster before. Having followed the skyscraper clue deeper into the castle's living quarter, you suddenly hear retreating footsteps. Okay, I remember this, yeah. Someone is here, you run after them and turn a corner to find a hallway full of numbered rooms. Which ones did they use? You can't yet. Okay. Yeah, so we definitely did this one before. The link doesn't work anymore, though, so... Okay. Place digits, so we have Sudoku. Place digits 1 through 9 into each cell without repeating in a row, column, or 3x3 box. That's normal Sudoku. Numbered rooms. Digits outside the grid are numbered rooms clues. The digit in the clue is in the nth cell. So the digit in the clue is in the nth cell in the adjacent row or column, where n is the digit in the first cell from the clue in that row or column. So this is, yeah, if this were, say, a 2, that would mean 3 has to be in the 2 spot. Okay. Then we have killer cages, where digits in a cage cannot repeat and sum to the number in the top left, upper left corner of the cage. Right. So, I remember this vaguely. So again, we have 3 digits, each representing where the 2 is in that column, right? Because each of these clues is a 2. So if this were this, only one digit can be from 1 through 3, only one digit can be from 4 through 6, and only one digit can be 3 from 7 through 9 in this 18 cage. Because if you have multiple digits from 7, 8, and 9, that would mean you would have 2 2s in box 8, which is not allowed. Therefore, this must be a 3, 6, 9 triplet. Which means 2 has to be one of these, 2 has to be one of these, and 2 has to be one of these. Okay, so we know 2 is in here. To add up with 5 digits to add up to 31, it must be 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, because we have a 2 here. We have 4 of the digits, unique digits, which must add up to 31 minus 2, which is 29. And that can only be 5, 7, 8, 9. So we have 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, but this can't be 2, this can't be 2. The rest of the digits in box 5 are 1, 3, 4, and 6. We know 2 has to be 4, 5, or 6 here, because this digit says the 2 has to be in one of these 3 digits, which it must be because of the 3, 6, 9 triplet in which adds up to 18 for these numbered room clues. We still need, so it could be 2, 3, 5, 6, or 8, 9 here, right? 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. 3 can never be here. If we had a 3 here, it would have, so 3 can never be here. If we had a 3 here, this would be 2 and this would be 2, so that's not allowed. So this can never be 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, but this can't be 3. If either of these are 3, the problem is, if this is 3, that would mean that we would need a 3 here to say 3 is in the third spot, but then that's 2 3s in the same box, same with that. So this cannot be 3, this cannot be 3. In this 9, this cage adding up to 9. So that leaves, we would normally have 1, 2, 6, 1, 3, 5, and 2, 3, 4 as possibilities, but none of those work with 3s. Therefore, this must be a 1, 2, 6 triplet, which means this can't be 2. This is 2 here. This is 1, 2, and 6. 3 cannot be first, and it can't be 2 and 3. It can't be 6. So 3 could be, this could be 4, 5, 7, 8, or 9 for the 3. Same here. This can't be 3. This then, okay, so 9, this could be 4, 5, 7, or 8. Okay. 2 has to be one of these 3, which means this cannot be a 2. Uh, 5 cannot be 5 here. This cannot be 5, so therefore this can't be a 5 here. So it could be, can't be 1. So in a number rooms clue, you can never have a 1 in the first place unless it's the digit in the numbered rooms is a 1. It could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4, 6, 7, or 8 here. So we have 1 degree of freedom here, right? We had 3, 6, 9 as the max, and the 3 could go down 1 to the 2, the 6 could go down 1 to the 5, and the 9 could go down 1 to the 8. Three has to be one of these two digits then. 3 cannot be in 4 and 5. This is 7, 8, or 9, right? So 3 is one of these 3 digits. So if this is 3, it has to be with 9 here. And that would be 7 or 8 in the number rooms clue. If this is 3, obviously this could never be 9 then. This is 4, 8, 5, and 7. This can't be 9, this can't be 9, so 9's either here or it's here. Okay. Okay. Five cannot be 5 in either of these spots. Actually, 5 cannot be 5 or 6 here for this one because this can't be 5 anymore. 5 could be in the 6th spot, but not in the 5th spot here. I don't remember quite how I solved this, but I have a vague recollection of what this was solving toward. 3 can be in 4 and 5, or 7 and 8. Okay, so if that's 3, these are the possibilities for where 3 can be. Where can the 5 be? 5 can't be in the fifth. You cannot have a 5 here. Aha. So since 5 cannot be here, because if this were 5, that would say 5 is in the fifth spot, but we already have a 5 in the first spot, so that's not allowed. So 5 cannot be either of these spots because it can't be here, because we know this is a 2, 5, 7, 8, 9 quintuplet to add up to 31. Therefore, one of these two must be a 6. So we have the 1 degree of freedom from the 8 or the 9 or the 2 and the 3 here. Okay. So this says 5 can either be 3. It cannot be 3 because it could be 3. It could be 3, which would make 5 here. It could be 6, so neither of these can be 5. But if this were 6, that would force this to be 5. Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spot. But that would force this to be 4, which would say 2 would have to be in the 4th spot, and we would have a contradiction because both the 5 and the 2 would have to be here. So this can never be 6, which means this is a 6, and saying that 5 is in the 6th spot here, which means 5 has to be in the 6th spot here. So this can no longer be 5. This 6 eliminates that 6 as a possibility for the 2. So, and 9 and 2 can no longer be in the 9 spot because the 6 occupies that. Therefore, that's saying the 2 has to be in the 3rd spot here. So this can't be 3. Therefore, this can't be a 2 because 2 has to be in the 3rd spot here, which means this is 2. None of these are 2. The remaining digits in column 6 have to be 1, 4, 7, 8, 9. That's possibilities, right? 4 can no longer be where the 2 is. It can only be 5 or 6 here. These can't be 6 because of the 6 here. You cannot... Okay, so 2 has to be in the 15 cage here. Okay, 6 cannot be here. 6 cannot be here. 6 cannot be here because you can't have 2 digits adding up with... to add up to 12 with a 6 because they would require another 6 there. So 6 has to be one of these 2 digits, which means this can't be 6 here. The rest of these digits add up to 15. You could have 1, 2, 3, and 9. 1, 2, 4, and 8. 1, 2, 5, and 7. You cannot have 1, 2, 4, and 8, though. If you had 1, 2, 4, 8, where is the 1 and the 4 in column 6? They would both have to be that cell, which is not allowed. Oh, and this can't be 9 either. So, it's 1, 2, 3, 9. Adding up to 15. Okay, say you did not have a 1, right? Say we tried to add up 15 without a 1. Well, this is already eliminated by... 6 is already eliminated. And the only possibility to add up to with 4 unique digits without a 1 would be 2, 3, 4, and 6. So that's not allowed. So 1 has to be in one of these cells, which means this cannot be 1. This is a 4, 7, 8, and 9 triplet then. Sorry, quadruplet. 4, 7, 8, 9 quadruplet in column 6, which eliminates 4, 7, 8, and 9 from the rest of the column. Therefore, this must be a 1, which makes that a 2, which makes that a 6. Therefore, that's a 1. So 4 has to be one of these 2 digits. So it's either 1, 2, 3, 9. So it'd be 1, 2 with 3 or 9. Or it cannot be 4, 8 because the 4 is one of these. It could be 1, 2, 5, 7 is the other possibility, right? Okay. So 5 is in the 6th spot, 5 is in the 6th spot. The remaining digits in row 2 have to be 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. But 9 cannot be here, 3 cannot be here. This is 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. 9 cannot be here because then that would eliminate 3 from being there, and therefore this would have to add up to 3 and 9, which is not allowed. The remaining digits here are 4, 5, 7, 8. Okay. Five is either here or one of these two. Two is either in 5 or 6. It's fine. 1 has to be one of these 3 digits here, which means 1 is one of these 3 digits here. We can't have a 1, a 2, or 6, or 4 here, so this is 3, 5, 7, 8, and 9 as the remaining digits possible here. 8 cannot be the first digit, but it could potentially be the second one. It could be the third. It could be fourth. It cannot be 5th or 6th. It could be 7, 8, or 9 also. It can't be 8, though, because if this is 8, that would mean that 8 has to be in the 8th spot, which is not allowed. So 2, 3, 4, 7, or 9 here. Where is the 2 in box 7? Can't be here because can't be these 2 because that must add up to 12. Can't be here because of this 2. Can't be here because one of these must be a 2 to fulfill the 9 number rooms clue. Can't be here. It has to be one of these 2 digits. So one of these 2 is a 2, which means this can never be 2. To add up to 17, we now have to have 3 and 8. So this is a 3-8 pair here, which eliminates 8 from being there. So this cannot be 3 then, which means this can't be 9. So this again, 6, 3, 8, 8 adds up to 17. This can no longer be 3 because we had a 2 eliminated here, so we need a 3 here. That means the 5 also has to be one of these cells. That means this has to be a 3, 9 pair, because 3 can no longer be in 4 and 5. So this is a 7 or 8 with a 3, 9 pair here. Eight can no longer be in the 9th part of this row looking that way, because this is 3, 8. This can no longer be 3. Where is the 3 in box 1? It must be here. Remaining digits in box 1 are 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. But these cannot be 9, and these can't be 8. That means we have remaining 1, 2, 4, 5, 7 here. This cannot be 5. We have a 3, 8 pair. So 5 has to be in the 8th spot. This cannot be 5. Because 5 can only be in the 3rd position or the 8th position. Therefore, this can't be 5. This is a 6, which forces the 2 to be in the 6th position looking this way. Therefore, this is 2. We have 6 here, 6 here. This is a 2, which means this has to be 6 to say 2 is in the 6th spot. This is 9, therefore this is 2. This cannot be 2. These cannot be 9 here. This can't be 9. We know, therefore, where is the 9 in column 6? It has to be one of these 2 cells, because the 9 has to be in one of those 2 cells for box 5. Therefore, these cannot be 9. If this is not 1, 2, 3, 9, adding up to this 15 cage, this would have to be 3, and this would be 9. So this can never be 3 here. 5 is one of these. 6 cannot be here. 6 cannot be here. Where is the 6 in row 3? Actually, in box 3, it has to be there. 8 is either in 2, 3, 4, or 7. We're not sure which. Okay. Remaining digits here have to be 1 and 2 with 1 out of 4, 5, or 7. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 7 here. This is also 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. But this can't be 2. Okay, so we've got these somewhat. These are all done. 3 has to be in 7 or 8. We're not sure which. Remaining digits in column 2 are 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. This is 4, 5, 7, 8. We know the 2 cannot be here. 5 cannot be here. We have a 2, 4, 7, 8 quadruplet in column 2, which eliminates 2, 4, 7, 8 from the rest of the column. Therefore, this is a 5, which means this cannot be 5 here. Where is the 5 in column 1? It must be one of these two digits, which means this cannot be 5. We can't have an 8 here either. So that's a 2, 4, 7 triplet, which because of the 3, 8 pair in the box. So the 2, 4, 7 triplet eliminates 2, 4, and 7 from the rest of the column. Therefore, this must be 8, which forces this to be a 3, which makes that a 9 because... so this can't be 3. This can't be 9. Where is the 9 then in box 8? It can only be one of these two cells. And since it must add up to 15, it must add up with 1 and 3. And therefore, this is 9, this is 3, this is 1. This can no longer be 3. One of these is 5. We're not sure which. Neither of these can be 1. Neither of these can be 3. This can't be 6. We have a 1, 4, 1, 4 pair in column 4, which eliminates 1 and 4 in the rest of the column and in the rest of the box. So this cannot be 4 here. So this must be 3. This must be 6. Okay. 5 must be one of these two cells. This can't be 1. This can't be 3. 8 could still be here, here, or here. That's fine. The remaining digits here are 1, 5, and 9. But this can't be 5. That's fine. Again, for this 15 cage to not have a 1, it would require the 4 digits to be 2, 3, 4, and 6. And we know 6 is not there. Therefore, 1 has to be one of these cells, which eliminate... We know in box 6, the 1 has to be in columns 4 and 5. In box 5, the 1 has to be in rows 4 and 5, which eliminates 1 from the rest of rows 4 and 5. Therefore, this can't be 1. This is 9. This can't be 1 or 9. So this is 5, which makes that a 1. This 5 means by numbered rooms, this has to be a 3, and that's an 8. These can no longer be 8. Therefore, this is 7. This can't be 7 or 8. Therefore, this is 9, which makes that an 8. This has to be a 4, 7 pair, which eliminates 4 and 7 from the rest of the box. Therefore, it's a 5, 8 pair here. These cannot be 7 here. Okay. We have a 2, 4, 7 triplet in row 8, which eliminates 2, 4, and 7 in the rest of the row. That leaves 3, 6, and 8. No. 5, 6, and 8. This can't be 5, though, so this is 6 or 8. These are 5, 6, or 8. But 8 cannot be in the third spot, going this way, because of the 3 in the row. Okay, so how does this add up? We don't know yet. Remaining digits in column 3 are 4, 6, 7, 8. So this could be 4, 6, 7, 8, but no 8 is here because of the 5, 8 pair in the row. This can't be 6, so this is 4, 7, or 8 here. Okay, this has to have a 1. 2 cannot... Okay, the remaining digits here, this 7 eliminates that as a 7, so this is 4, which means these can't be 4. The remaining digits now are 3 and 5, so this is 3, this is 5, this cannot have a 5. You have 4 digits adding up to 15 without a 3 or 5 or 6. That requires it to be 1, 2, 4, 8 to add up to 15. So this is 1, 2, 4, and 8, but 8 cannot be here. This then must be a 7, 9 pair. This can't be 9 because of that 9, therefore this is a 7, which makes that a 9. The 7 eliminates that 7, so this is 2, and therefore that's a 7. Neither of these can be 2. This can't be 7, therefore this can't be 5. This can't be 5 because of that 5. This can't be 8. 5 is one of these two. This can no longer be a 5. Where is the 5 in row 8? It has to be here. So this is 5, which means this cannot be 5. So this cannot be 5 and 7, adding up to 12. This can't be 7 or 5 here. This can no longer be 7 here to have an 8 here. So it's 2 or 4. Sorry, can't be 4 because the 8 cannot be in the 4th spot now. If it were 7, this would have to be 8, this would be 6, and this would be 1. That's possible. If this is 2, this would then be 8, and it would have to be with a 4 to add up to 14. Okay. This can no longer be 3, which means this can no longer be 9. We have a 4, 8 pair here, which eliminates 4 and 8 from the rest of the box. Sorry, the row. Actually, and the box. So these can't be 4. Where's the 4 in row 1? It must be one of these two cells, therefore this can't be 4. These cannot be 8. This can't be 4. This must be a 5, which makes that a 7, which makes that a 9, which makes the 3 in the 9th spot. This can no longer be 9. This can't be 5 or 7, so it's 8. This can't be 5 or 8, so this is 4. This 8 eliminates that 8, so it's 5 and 8 here. The remaining digits here are 6, 5, 7, and 9. Well, this can't be 5, 7, or 9, so it must be 6. Which means these must be 5, 7, or 9. This can't be 5, though. This 6 means neither of these can be 6. That's fine. The remaining digits in column 7 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. This can't be 2. This can't be 8 here. Where is the 9 in row 9? Can't be any of these cells. Must be here. So this is 9, which means this can't be 9. Where is the 9 in row 3? It must be here. Where is the 3 in row 7? Can't be any of these cells. Can't be here because of that 3, so this must be a 3 here. If we have 2, 8, and 4 here, that would force this to be a 1 and a 1 here, which would have, we would have 2 1s in the same box, which is not allowed. So this cannot be 2. This must be 7. This must be, that means 8 is in the 7th spot, so this is 8. This 7 means this is a 4, which makes that a 7. This 4 and 7 eliminates 4 and 7 here, so this is 2. This cannot be 2 or 7 here. Oops. Can't be 2 or 7. This can't be 7 here. We know the 6 is here. There, where is the 6 in column 3? It has to be here. This can't be 8 either. It's a 4 or 7. Whereas the 8, this is a 1 actually, because to add up to 14 with 6 and 7, it must be 1. That eliminates 1 here and 1 in these spaces. Where's the 1 in column 7? It must be here. Where's the 1 in row 7? It must be here. Where's the 2 in column 7? It must be here. And therefore, this is a 4, which makes that an 8, which makes that 4, 8. These cannot be 1. These cannot be 1. This can't be 8 because of that 8. So this is a 4, which makes that a 2. Which makes that a 7. Therefore, this is 2. This 7 eliminates that 7, so it's a 5. This can't be 2 or 4, so this is 1. This is 8. This 4 eliminates that 4, so it's 1 and 4. The 7 eliminates 7's here, so this is a 4. This is a 5. This is a 7. That 7 eliminates that 7, so this is 4, and this is 7. Yep, we found this guy before. Gives you worn pamphlet. Watch out for snakes. You have learned the indexing system for the library. Okay, so enter 1 to this box. This puzzle's box cell in Sudokuvania. So we're looking for a 1 there. Okay. So for the boss, for the library, I think it was the library, right? No, quarters. For the boss for quarters, we have a 1 now. So this is 1, which makes this, you found the library codex. Therefore, this must be 6, which makes this a 5. This has to see 4 skyscrapers here, so this must be 4, which makes this a 2. This 6 means this can't be 6, so this is 1. That has to be 7, which forces this to be 5. This 7 eliminates that 7, so this is 9, which makes that a 7, which forces this to be a 2, which makes that a 3, which makes that a 2, which makes that a 3, which makes that a 2. This is a 1. Excuse me. This 2 means this can't be 2, so this is 4, this is 2. This has to be a 6, and this must be a 3. This 5 eliminates that 5, so it's a 7. This 4 eliminates that 4, so this is a 5. Which makes that a 4, which makes that a 5, which makes that a 4. 5 cannot be here. 4 cannot be here. This can't be 5 either. This can't be 7 because of this 7 anymore. So this must be 1. This can't be 1 or 2. This can't be 2. This can't be 3 here because of this 3. So this must be 5, which makes that a 3. This 1 eliminates that 1, so this is a 9, which makes that a 4. This 5 eliminates that 5, so this is 9, 6, and 5. That's not good. I don't know why these are all uncovered. Unlocked collectible coins. Okay, so that's the coins. I need a reset. Yeah, I've completely filled out grid 2, but we have some spaces where it's not working. I don't know what that means though. A digit in a collectible coin indicates the number of coins bearing that digit. Coins are located throughout the map. Interesting. Okay. Also, a codex cell indicates the column in its row, which contains a digit matching the codex's column. So a codex cell indicates the column in its row. Okay, what is that? Okay, let me think that through. A codex cell indicates a column in its row which contains a digit matching the codex's column. Okay. For example, a book reference in row 3, column 5, containing a 7 indicates row 3, column 7 is a 5. The row and column numbers only applied to the current grid. Right, I was assuming that anyways. Okay. We had libraries here somewhere. Okay. I guess we've completely solved. I guess that check mark indicates we've completely solved grid 2. Maybe? I don't know. Yeah, okay, we did completely solve grid 2 because that satisfied everything. Okay, so that's good. We've solved the factory. Okay, so this has to be a 1, right? Okay, that's not going to work. But since this is column unlock double, okay, yeah, we already did double jump. Okay, so again, contains a digit, a book icon in column. So this was column 2, contains a digit matching the column X where digit N is found in that row. So this has to be a 1 then. We know this is a 1. So this is 1. Oh boy. That's a lot of arrows. Okay. So these are all the same in the same box. Therefore, we need one digit that's from 4 through 6 here also, because 2 can never be in 1, 2, and 3, and we need one digit. So this has either 5 and 6, or it's 8 and 9, right? Which means 2. Okay, so 2 cannot be 5 or 6 here, right? If it were, it would have to be, it's the sum of everything else added up in the arrow, which is obviously not allowed by 2, because you have 3 digits here. So this can never be 5 or 6 for these digits. So the 2 here has to be 8 or 9. This means the 2 here has to be in 5 or 6. So 2 has to be one of these 2 digits. That's not what I want. Okay, I'm starting to be able to maneuver this a little bit. Okay. Okay, so we know 2 has to be one of these digits. These digits specifically must be 1 through 6. Right? And 2 cannot be here. 2 cannot be here. This can't be 4. This can't be 1. So if this were 6, it would not work because it would be 6, 3, and 1 at minimum. This is 6, 7, 8, 9 here. This is at least 3 plus 1, so this is 4 through 9, but it's actually 5 through 9 because the 4 is already in the row. This has to be 1 through 6 also, but it cannot be 2. These could be 1 through 7 here. but this can't be 1 or 2. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but this can't be 7 here. This can't be 6. Even if this were 7, that would force this to be 1 and 1, which would add up to 9, but the 1 would be in the same row. So this can never be 7 either. So this must be 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9 here. The remaining digits here are 3 and 6. Okay. These digits add up to at least 15. Because they're all in the same box. Therefore, these two digits must be at least 15. And it cannot be 8 and 9 because 8 and 9 are the only possibilities here. So this must be adding up to 15 plus 1 is 16. So this is a 7-9 pair here. That eliminates 7 and 9 in the rest of the row, which eliminates this from being a 9. So this is an 8. This can't be 8 or 9. This 8 says that 2, which is the column, has to be in the 8th spot. So this is a 2. This is a 7-9 pair. This has to be a 1 because there's no other place for it. This must be the digits 1 through 5 to add up to 15 plus the 1 to add up to 16. So these digits are specifically 6 and 8. Where is the 1 in this central box? It has to be here. So this is a 1. These cannot be 8, obviously. The remaining digits in row 4 are 3, 5, and 6. So one of these is 2 and 4. The other one is 3 and 5. Because one of them must add up to 7. The other must add up to 9. So 4 cannot be here. Because if 4 were here, it can't be with a 2. So 4 has to be one of these two cells here. So 4 has to be one of these two cells here. Shelves packed with books stretch nearly to the ceiling of the castle's library. It would be easy to lose your bearings in these narrow aisles. Okay. So because we have a 7-9 pair here, and they have the book on it, one of them's 5, column 5, and one of them's 6. So this must be, then, a 5-6 pair here, which eliminates 5 and 6 from the rest of the row. So this is a 3. Neither of these can be 3. The 2 is either in 5 or 6, which would force that to be 5 or 6. 4 has to be one of these two cells. If this were 4, it's saying 5 has to be in the 4th column, which is not possible. So this cannot be 4, which means this has to be a 4. That's saying 6 has to be in the 4th column. So this is 6, this is 8. This can no longer be 6. This 4 has to be with 2 to add up to 7. So this is 2. This becomes a 3-5 pair here. This adds up to 7, which makes that a 9. The 7 then says the 5 has to be in the 7th column. So that's 5. This is 6. This is 3 or 5. This is 3 or 5. This is saying, if this were 5, that would work, because it's saying that 5 has to be in the 5th column, which is. If it's 3, that's saying 5 has to be in the 3rd column, which could be possible. So 5 has to be one of those two. If this can no longer, this 2 is saying 5 has to be in the second column. So this is a 5, which means this can't be 5. This is a 9, this is a 6. This has to be then be 5, and this is a 3, which means 6 has to be in the third column, which it is. Okay, we have a German whisper line here. What can this be? If this were 2, it would say 6 is in the second spot, second pot in the column, which is possible. It could be 6, 7, or 8 also. But if it were 7 or 8, say it was 7. If it were 7, that's saying 6 has to be in the 7th spot. But the 7 would have to go down to a low, which would make that a high, which would make that a low. And 6 couldn't be there. So it cannot be 7. It's 2, 6, or 8. The 2 can be with 7, 8, or 9, but 8 cannot be here. So if this is 2, this would force this to be a 9. Because 7 and 8 are eliminated by the 7 and 8 here. If this is, so it could be 6 and 8, which would force this to be 1 or 3. If this is 2, this would be 9. This could not be 3 or 4. This would have to be 1, which is saying 6 would be in the 1 spot, which is not allowed. Therefore, this cannot be low. This cannot be high. This is 6 or 8 with 1 or 3. This has to be high. This has to be low. Cannot be 1. It could be 2, 3, or 4. But this cannot never be a 9 here because of that 9. So this can't be 4. This is 2 or 3. This can't be 8 or 9, so this is 6 or 7. But if it's a 6, it cannot be next to a 2 or 3. Therefore, this is a 7, which forces this to be 2. This 7 says that a 6 has to be in the 7th column. Therefore, this is 6. This cannot be 3 anymore. Therefore, it's 1. And this still could be 6 or 8. Well, 6 can no longer be in the 8th spot because we already have a 6 in that box. So this must be a 6 also. So this is a 6. Remaining digits here are 3 and 4 in row 5. And the remaining digits here, no, it can't be 3 and it's not 3 and 4. It's 4 and 9. And the remaining digits in row 6 are 3, 7, and 8. Okay. Did we get... You fell down a trap door. Sorry. Okay. We have the clues. Ugh. Unlock something lines. I don't know what lines these are. A blue roaming line allows fast travel. The digits are the same read forwards or backwards, so it's palindrome then. Okay. So this is a palindrome. So I think this has to be a 6. Is that right? No, this can't be that easy. Because wouldn't this have to be a 4? Huh. I'm so confused by that. Hmm. Every cell of a blue roaming line has a digit. The sequence of its cells is the same with red forwards and backwards. Yeah, so wouldn't that make this a 6 and this is a 3 then? I mean, this is already... This doesn't look like a grid, right? So this is a 6. This is a 3. Must be... Okay, so this is not... Okay, so this is then 4, 8... No, this is not 8. This is 4. This is an 8. Which would force this to be 5. This is 1. This would be 9. And we don't know what that is. Right? 6, 4, 6, 4. Blank 8. Blank 8, 5, 5, 1, 1, 9, 9. Okay, so all the roaming lines... We have... I've seen a couple before. Right? Ugh. We are in a bad spot here, so okay, let's try to find where that is. This cannot be 7 because of this 7. This can't be 7, and this can't be 7 because of that 7. I don't see any blue. We have an 8 coin. We have a 4 coin here. Do we have any other coins? We have a 5 coin and a 9 coin, I think it is. So I see 2 8s. 3 must be on... Okay, so... Right. So 3 is on a German whisper line with another digit, and that must be in a 1:2 ratio on another digit. Therefore, this must be 8, and this must be 4, and this must be 9 here. And we find the boss here, actually. Grid 6, designed by maintenance. Pipes sprawl along the walls and low ceiling in this dark place. You can only guess what purpose any of these mechanisms serve, but they all look important. Click here when ready to play the maintenance boss puzzle. Okay. I can't click on it, unfortunately. I don't know why it stopped working for me, but it did. So we have... What is it? 8, 4... Lino 986X. Prism Break by Skeptical Morrow. You are still sore from that tumble down some kind of disposal trap door in the library. Shambling forward in the dark, your outstretched hands touch and then grasp something that turns out to be a lantern. You shine light into your surroundings. You appear to be in an abandoned mining tunnel. Perhaps they were excavating a cave underneath the castle. In any case, you had better find your way out so that you can continue your quest. Sudoku. Place the digits 1 through 9 into each cell without repeating in a row, column, or 3x3 box. Okay, that's normal Sudoku rules. We have cave. Oh, God. Okay. Cave. Shade some cells such that any orthogonally connected group of shaded wall cells connects to an edge of the grid, and all unshaded, which are the cave cells, form a single orthogonally connected area. Okay. Oh god, I don't even know what Akari is. Akari. Place lanterns in unshaded cells such that the unshaded cells must be illuminated by lanterns, and no two lanterns may illuminate each other. Illumination travels in straight orthogonal lines and is blocked by shaded cells. So all such that all unshaded cells must be illuminated by lanterns. Okay. And no two lanterns may illuminate each other. Okay. Lanterns. Cells with cages are all wall cells. The digit in the cage indicates the number of lanterns in cells orthogonally adjacent to it. Cells with cages are all wall cells. The digits in the cage indicates the number of lanterns in cells orthogonally adjacent to it. In addition, the digit in each lantern is the number of cells illuminated by that lantern. Okay. The digit in each lantern, that means the lantern can never illuminate more than 9 digits because this is normal Sudoku. Okay. Let's try. Okay. So cells with cages are all wall cells. We're going to mark those as gray. Shade some cells. Okay. The cave is all orthogonally connected to each other. We have 8, 8. I don't even know what Akari is, so I've never done that before. Lanterns, you have to place it in unshaded cells. Okay. Oh boy. That's all we have? Jeez. I've never done Akari puzzles, so this is a first. Okay. Uh, I don't even know how to start trying to attack this. Yeah, my guess is Akari is probably pretty important, but I'm not sure what that. Okay, shade some cells. Okay. Connect to the edge. And the cave has to be. Oh boy. uh, huh. Interesting. That means one can never be in a lantern, right? Because it has to be orthogonally connected to another unshaded cell, and all lanterns are in unshaded cells. So it would always see another cell at least. So all lantern cells have to be at least 2. A lantern can never be 1. Oh boy. The digit in the cage indicates the number of lanterns in cells orthogonally adjacent to it. Ah, A digit in the cage indicates the number of lanterns in a cell orthogonally adjacent to it. So this could only have 2 at most. So this would be 2 at most. This would be 2 at most. So we have a 1, 2, 1, 2 pair. Therefore, one of them is 2. So one of them is going to be here. The other one has to be here then. So I think both of these have to be. Oh, I guess it could be blocked by a wall, right? So the lanterns could actually be here and here. This sees 3. 1, 2, 3. This sees 3. 1, 2, or 3. So we have a 1, 2, 3 triplet here. This could be 4, up to 4. These are up to 3. This is up to 3 also, right? 1, 2, and 3. This is obviously not a lantern. So, and this is 4. So the rest of this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. These are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And these are 3 through 9 here. Neither of these can be 8. This can't be 8 here. This can't be 5 or 6. This can't be 7. This can't be 7 or 8. So, if this were a lantern, this would see only 2 cells, right? And the lantern, digit in each lantern is the number of cells illuminated by that lantern. So it would illuminate this one, and this one, which is only 3. So this cannot be a lantern cell. We're going to make the lanterns yellow, I guess. So this can never be 3. This is at most 2. This is 1 or 2, and this is 1 or 2. This then has to be 3. So this is 3. These are all lantern cells then. So these are all lantern cells. This has to be 4. Because it can only eliminate 4. So this is a 4, which means this cannot be 4 here. These can't be 4. These all have to be space. So I guess we make it blue? I don't even know. This sees 4. This can't be 8 because of the 8 here. These can't be 4. This can't be 4. This is a lantern, so this cannot be a lantern. None of these can be lanterns, but we know this doesn't have to be a wall. So we have lanterns in these 3 spaces for certain. This cannot be a lantern. Okay, we'll mark the blue spaces as non-lantern, but we could be walls, essentially. We also mark the spaces as green for they are cave. So this is not lantern, not lantern, not lantern. Actually, we don't know about these, right? We just know this is not a lantern. I don't know how to color this then. Well, this is non-lantern also. We know these are clear spaces, and they can't be lantern. This could be 2. 1, 2. So this must be clear space. It has to be at least 5. So we know those are all clear spaces, and they cannot contain a lantern, because this lantern would see it. Okay, so this is at least 5. Therefore, this is more than 3. So this has to be 5 through 9 also. Because it illuminates at least 3. Because we know that because of this space, it could be these 5 are illuminated by it, but it must be at least 5 because this can only illuminate 4. Ah, this cannot be a lantern. So this is at most 2 lanterns here. So this can't be a lantern here. Can this ever be 3? If this were 3, it would have lanterns here. This would need a lantern, but it could not have a lantern here because lanterns can't illuminate each other. So one of these two would be a lantern. Therefore, this can never be 3. This is a 1-2-1-2 pair, which forces this to be 3. And this is 3 lanterns here. These can't be 4, though. This must see at least 5. So it has to... Okay, so it sees 3 at most here, 1 at most here. So this must be a non... This must be a cave space. This could still be a lantern. Because it could go up. One of these two... Okay, one thing we know is it can never be lantern here. And one of them has 2. This can never be lantern. One of these 2 is a lantern. The other one has to be a lantern here. Which means this does have to be a lantern, which means this is blocked. So this has to go 5 at least. This has to go 5 at least. So it will be up to here. Right? We could have 4 here, and this is a 5th. Same here. This is 4 and 5th. So this is a wall. This is a wall. This has to connect. So this is a space here. So this is at least 2. Again, all the lanterns have to be at greater than 1. This cannot be a lantern. If this were... Okay, so this is not a lantern. Which means this can't be 4. Because it sees that lantern. Because this must be at least 5 in size. One of these is a lantern. One of these is a lantern. So since one of these is a lantern, it could be blocked this way. That means it could go 1... I mean, technically... So lantern, block... Oh, one of these 2 is a lantern, and these are open spaces. Therefore, this cannot be a lantern. This has to, or this cannot be an open space because this lantern would see that. So this is at least 2. Also, we don't know. So it blocks here. One of these is a lantern. One of these is a lantern. This is open space because we have 4 open spaces that this lantern illuminates. This has to be 5 that it illuminates, so this cannot be a lantern here. One of these is a lantern, so we have a block here or a block here. We're not sure which. So this is obviously not a lantern here. One of these is a lantern. One of... If this is 2, obviously this would be 1 here, right? Because this could not be lantern, lantern. If this is 2... Okay, so we know we have a lantern here, we have a lantern here, right? We must have a lantern here, we must have a lantern here. If this is the 2, that means the lanterns are here. This can never be a lantern, and this must be a lantern. If this is a 2, that means these 2 are lanterns, which means this cannot be a lantern, and that's a lantern. So this is a lantern, and this is a lantern, which means we must block here, because the lanterns can't see each other. This can never be 5, so this cannot be a lantern, right? Because this sees at most 3. So this is not a lantern, which means this is a lantern. We don't know what this is. Oops, not orange. This is yellow. This has to see at least 5. So this must be an open space. It must see at least these 4, therefore this is blocking there. Okay, so this is a lantern. It must see... This is 1. So this is 1, this is 2. There could be 2 here. We don't know with that. So this is not 2, this is 1. We don't know where the lantern is here then. This has to see here. So this has to be empty space because it sees only 4 at most here. This is a lantern. Which means this has to be blocked this way. So this sees at least 3. So it sees 1 here. It has to see that one. So this is at least an empty space. It actually has to be an empty space. This cannot be a lantern, and these 2 cannot be lanterns because this would see that. This is a wall, so this has to be 1. And therefore, this must be a lantern here because this cannot be a lantern. Because of that. This can't be a lantern then anymore. This cannot be a lantern. We don't know what that is. This cannot be 7 or 9. It will see at most 3 here, and then 4, 5, and 6 at most. So this is 5 or 6 here. This must... okay, this has to be an empty space. It cannot be... Like, this is essentially blocked off from everything else otherwise, if it were. So this has to be a cave. So this is at least 2. This has 3 lanterns. This has 3 lanterns. This must be 2. So this is 2, and this is 1. Because one of these 2 must be... Actually, that's not true. It could be both 1, 1 here, right? That is possible. So this could still be 1. Okay. This cannot be 1. So it has at least 2 lanterns here. cannot be here, right? This must see at least 5, and therefore all of these are cave. If this were a lantern, they would eliminate each other. So this cannot be 3. This has to be 2. This cannot be a lantern. Therefore, both of these are lanterns here. Since this is a lantern, and this is a lantern, this sees at least 2, so this is 3 at least. So it eliminates 3. This has to be 3 at least also, but we don't know which. This has to be 3. You can eliminate 3 up to 8. So 3, 4, no 5, 6, 7, or 8 here. This could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 3 through 8 also. Actually can't eliminate there. So this would have to be at most 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6 at most. This can only go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Potentially. Right? So this is 3 through 8, but no 5, obviously. Can this be 9 still? Okay, so... Oof. This is blocked here, so this sees 1. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's up to 7. 2, 4, 5, 7. This sees 2 through 9. 7, 8, 9. So that's still possible. Actually, one of these has to be a light, a lantern. So it cannot, it could be up to 4. So this is 2 or 4. One of these, well, this one's blocked here. So this is fine. Oh, this doesn't have to be blocked here. Dang it. Okay, so that's incorrect there. Okay, but I think that's still okay. I don't think that affected anything, right? We don't actually have to have it blocked here. It could be blocked here, right? So this could actually be 8 and 9 here. Well, actually, hold up. So it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, it could be 8 and 9. Because this could be the lantern and this could be block. One of these two is a lantern. One of these two is a lantern. This is 2 or it's 4. We're not sure which. Can this ever... I don't think this can get to an edge unless it goes this way, right? If it tries to go, say like it tries to go here, the problem is this is a separate area than this. Right, and yeah, so this, yeah, anytime you have this scenario, I think with a cave and a wall, if the wall are the two diagonals, you cannot have a cave on both sides. Right, because the caves must connect, and since the caves must connect, this area can never get to the edge. So this can't be cave, this has to be a wall. So this has to be 5 that way, which means it connects here. So therefore, this is at least 6. Same here. If this is cave, it goes intersects here. This has to be a wall. So this must be 5 going that way, at least. Okay. So we actually have all the cave scenario. We have all the cages essentially done. So we now need to essentially figure out where the caves are and where the walls are. We don't have all the lanterns necessarily, though. I guess we have all the relevant ones, though, right? Hmm. This, though, does have to be a wall, because otherwise these two lanterns would see each other. And we know this has to be... This is a lantern because of the 3 lanterns around it, and this has to be a lantern because you can't have just... One of these has to be... You can only have one here and one here. And therefore, this has to be the third out of these 3 lanterns here. So this can never get to 9. If it were 9... So it... Because it's blocked by this. Because this is a lantern also. This is 2, 3... It can't be 2. So it has to see at least 3. So this is not a lantern. So this sees at least 3. It's 3, 4, or 5 here. But it has to see at least 3 because this is 2. Okay. This is 1. Yeah, this is only there because we know it has to connect. We don't know anything else. One of these is not, has to be a wall. There has to be a wall in between here. Okay, so this already connects. Let's see. I guess this could be 5 also. No, wait, it can't be 5. It has to have... Right, it has to have a wall in between that and the lantern. So one of these would be a wall. Alright, that's the reason why. So this cannot be a lantern. Obviously, this can't be lantern. This can't be lantern. This can't be lantern. This can't be lantern. This cannot be lantern, obviously. This can't be lantern. This can't be lantern. This can't be lantern. Oh, we know. Okay, yeah, this... Right, because it's 5. This is that way. This cannot be a lantern. Since this can't be a lantern, this has to be the lantern here, which forces this to be 2 and this to be 1. So this is not a lantern. It has to be a wall to block the lanterns. This does actually have to be a wall because we have open space between these. This is not a lantern, so this has to be a lantern here. This sees then 5 exactly. It eliminates that and these 4. So this has to be an open space. This is a 5. This cannot be 5. This must connect to the edge. And if this is not an edge, this is blocked elsewhere. So this has to be edge. So the skill could be 4. This illuminates this way. It has to connect, so therefore this is a 4. And it illuminates this way. This sees 1. It has to be at least 6 here. So 6, 7, 8, 9. So therefore this illuminates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 at least. So it cannot be 9. But these all must be open cave. So this must be, it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So this illuminates these 5. This illuminates these 4. This illuminates 4 this way. This means this can't be 4. This is 2, which means that this has to be an end here. This could be an end. Oh, I mean, sorry, this is a wall. So this illuminates 2. This cannot be 2. Therefore, these has to be 4 at least. Therefore, these has to be open area. So it sees 4 at least. This is not 5. One of these two is a lantern. We're not sure which. This is a lantern. It sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at least. This is then sees 4 because it can't be 5. And we see 4 open spaces. So this is 4, which means this is not a lantern. This is blocking a wall. So this sees 5 then, total. So this is 5. This is not a wall, it's a cave because it must illuminate 5. These cannot be 5 anymore. This must illuminate 6, so this must be essentially a cave. This is a wall. These are open caves, so this must connect to the edge. So it has to go this way and this way. This then only sees 5. So this is 5, which means this can't be 5, and this can't be 5, and these can't be 5. So illuminates 5 here. This cannot illuminate 6, so it's 3, 4, 5 here. This is more than 3 or 4, so this has to be 7 or 8. And it cannot be 8. So it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it could be 7 or 8, yeah. So this cannot be, this has to be illuminated, and it's therefore it's a cave. This sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and maybe 7. So this is 6 or 7 here to illuminate. Again, this wall has to be going to the end. This could be wall. This could be wall. Actually, this cannot be wall. If this were wall... No, it could be wall. Never mind. This is already illuminated by this 4. So that's fine. This is at least 4. It can't... It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at most. So this is 4 or 7. This illuminates 5 at most. But we're not sure which way or whether it goes any which way. This illuminates 7, so it has to be 6, and it could be 7 at least. Because it cannot be 3 or 4, because these are all cave areas. This illuminates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at least. This is already blocked, so this could be the other lantern here. Where is the last remaining 2 actually in row 7? It has to be here. So this is a 2. That means where is the 2 in column 8? It has to be one of those 2. 2 cannot be here. 2 cannot be here. 2 in box 5 has to be one of those 2. 2 can't be here. 2 can't be here. So we have a 2 here. 1 has to be one of these 2. 1 cannot be here. Cannot be here. Cannot be here. Therefore, this is a 1. 1 remaining has to be one of those 2. 1 is one of these 3, but that's pretty broad. 1 is one of those 3. That's also pretty broad. Well, let's just do that. 1, 1. Okay, so we have all the 1s kind of accounted for. 2 cannot be here, here, here. So 2 is one of these 3. 3 is one of these 2. And that's pretty much it that we have there. 4 cannot be here. So 4 is one of these 2, right? Okay, do we have anything else? 4 is one of these three. 4 is one of these three. 5. 5 is one of these two. 5 is either here or here, so this cannot be 5 here. This cannot be 5, 7, or 8. 5 is also one of these two. 6, we don't have very many. 7, we don't have any. 8, we don't have very many. Okay. If we have 7 here, that means this is 4. That means this is a wall, and this is a wall, if that were the case. I mean, it's possible. Hmm. Yeah, we don't know what. So this is blue. Uh. Hmm. Actually, that is a good question. If this were a lantern, so one of these two is a lantern. If this were a lantern, what could it illuminate? We know this is at least 4. This could be wall. So if this were a lantern... Hmm. Ugh. Hmm. Here's one of these. Hmm. That would mean this would be at 3 or 4, right? So then it would have to have... Okay, well... If it were 4, this would be 7. So that wouldn't work, right? So this would have to be 3, which means this would have to be empty space, right? This is 3, 6, or 7. So it cannot illuminate the full amount here. It's either this is 3, or it goes all the way here, and then blocks here, supposedly, right? Or just blocks here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is either 6 or 9 here. We're not sure which, right? Because either this is not a wall and it sees all the way through, or this is a wall here and it sees only 6. This is 6, 7, 8, 9 here. Okay. So if this is the lantern, it has to be a 3. And this one would specifically have to be a cave. if this is a lantern, I don't know. Okay. Okay, so this is seen by this lantern. This is seen. All the lanterns obviously see themselves. This is seen by both of these. This is seen by this lantern. This is seen by that. This is seen by that. This is seen by that. This is seen by both of these. This is seen by that. This is seen by that. This is seen by that and this. This is seen by both of these. This is seen by that. This is seen by that and that. This is seen by both of these two. These three are seen by those, and these two are seen by those. These three are seen by those. These three are seen by that. This is seen by that. These four are seen by that. This is seen by that. Okay, so all the green spaces are already accounted for with the lanterns. Hmm. Um. Okay, what if this were 7? That's actually very interesting. So if this was a 7, that would see these. It would have to open up these. This would be 8, so it would open up that. Right? You'd have to see 8 cells here. So this would be 7, this would be 8. That could work. Therefore, this would be a lantern. It could not see 7 here. It could potentially see 6 here. We need something blocking here. So this then would have to be open space, which means this could never be 6 or 7. So this would be 3. This would be blocked. This would be wall then. This could not be 3. One of these is blocked, at least. Ah, but then this space would not have an area to go to. I guess well, okay. No, that's not technically true. It could go, and it would have to go here this way then. So this would be 8. This would have to be 4. And these would be cave areas. This would not be 4. This would be 3 or 5, which still works. This would be 6. Okay, so far this is still looking fine. Obviously this would be 4. So this looks fine. It connects to the edge. This is 3 or 5. We're not sure which way it connects. This can't be 4, so this would be 4. Ah, no, you can't connect this way because one of these has to be blocked. Okay, so that fails. So that fails because specifically either this wall can't get to the edge or this lantern you would have 2 lanterns touching each other. So we know for certain then this cannot be 7. So this has to be 4, which means these can't be 4. This is blocked here. So this sees 4. It illuminates 4. This could be all 9. We don't know. 4 is also one of these 3 digits. Obviously, this can't be a lantern. What are the remaining digits in row 4? 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. But these can't be 5. This is 3, 5, 7, 9 because it can't be 6 here. This can't be 3. We have 5, 7, 8, 9 here. So this is 5, 8, 9, and this is 5, 7, 8, 9 here. But this can't be 5 or 8. Interesting. This has to be 7 or 9. So if this were a lantern, it would fail because it would not have any possibilities. So this cannot be the lantern. This has to be the lantern. Since this is the lantern, one of these must be blocked. So since one of these must be blocked, this is at least 3. It has to go this way. So this is clear. That means this still has to connect. I guess it could connect that way, maybe? The reason why this was bad was this had to be open cave because of the 7, but this actually could connect that way. But if it connects that way, that seems okay. Yeah, it seems okay. One of these is not a lantern. So one of these has to be a wall here. We're not sure which, though. This could never be a lantern. Can this ever be a lantern? No. Can this ever be a lantern? No. Therefore, this must be a wall. Right? Because there's no lantern illuminating this space, right? It can't be itself, because that would have to see 7 spaces. Can't be here, because that would illuminate, that would be next to another lantern, and they would illuminate each other. Can't be here, because it's the same reasoning. So this has to be a wall, then, because there's no other place to illuminate it. It could connect this way. That could be fine. This is no longer 9. It can't be 8 either, because if it's 8, it has to be at least 9. So it's 6 or 7 here. This sees, at most, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5 at most here. Can this ever be 6 then? It sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then it would be open space here, and the lanterns would illuminate each other. So it cannot be 6. This has to be 3, which means this cannot be 3 here. This sees exactly 3. This is not a open sail. It's a cave. Therefore, this sees only 6. So this is a 6 then. None of these can be 3. This has to see at least 4, so this is open area. It cannot connect to here. This must get to the edge, so it has to go here. Therefore, this is 3. This must be at least 4, so this has to be an open area cave. So this is cave, which makes this an 8, because it illuminates 8 cells. This is 4. So none of these can be 4, which means this has to be the 4 in box, box 4. 1s are here, which means this can't be 1, therefore this is a 1 here. We have, what, 6, 7, and 9 remaining in row 7. This can't be 6. This is 6 or 9. This is 6, 7, or 9 here. This is 6 or 7. We're not sure. Oh, these have to be open cells, because the 3 has to see 3 cells. These are not 4, which forces this to be a 4 here. Because this can't be 4 anymore. This 6 means this can't be 6, so this must be a 9. None of these can be 9 or 6 anymore. Here, this can't be, this could be 6, but it can't be 9 here. One of these is 1. This sees 3. This illuminates 4. This illuminates 8. This illuminates 5. This illuminates 3. This illuminates 4. This illuminates 5. This illuminates 8 here, so this can't be 8 here. So one of these 2 is an 8. Okay. We have 5 through 9 remaining here, but this can't be 5 or 8 because of that 5-8 pair. So this is 6, 7, 9. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is also 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 3 with 6, 7, 9. But this can't be 7 or 9 here. This can't be 9 because of this 9, so this must be a 6, which means this cannot be 6. This 6 means this can't be 6, so this is 3, which means this can't be 3 or 6. The remaining digits are 1, 2, and 4 in column 4. But this can't be 4, this can't be 1. This is specifically 1, 2, and 4. This can't be 6. This is 6, 7, or 9, but this can't be 6. This is 7 or 9. 7. We have a 7, 9, 7, 9 pair in row 3 and box 3, which eliminates 7 and 9, the rest of the box and row. This can't be 7 or 9. This can't be 7, so this is 6, which means this can't be 6. This illuminates 7, so this must be a 7, which makes that a 9, which makes that a 7, which makes that a 9. None of 7 or 9 can be here. This can't be 7. These can't be 6. Oops, this can't be 6 because of this 6. No 6 here. 9 cannot be here. What else are we missing? This, you can see 6 or 9. Okay, we're not sure if either or both of them are either or both are caves. You have to have at least one cave here, but we don't know which one it is. This can't be 7 or 9 because of the 7 or 9 here. This can't be 8 here because of this 8. Where is the 8? Okay, this can't be 7 either. Where is the 8? This 7 forces this to be an 8, so this can't be 8. So we have that. Where is the 9 in column 3? Can't be here, can't be here because of this 9. Can't be here because it only sees 8 at most, and it can't be here because of that 9. Therefore, this has to be a 9, which makes this a 7, which makes that a 5, which makes that a 7. Therefore, the only place for 5 is here in box 2. This 5 eliminates that 5, so this is 8. This can't be 5 or... shoot, could be 5 or 8. It could be 5 or 9. We have a 5, 9, 5, 9 pair in box 4, which eliminates 5 and 9 in the rest of the box. Therefore, this can't be 5. This is 3. This is 9. This can't be 9, so this is 5. This is 9. This eliminates 3, 5, and 9 here, so this is 7. This can't be 3, 7, or 9, so this is 6. This 7 eliminates that 7, so this is 8. This is 9. Makes that a 6. Therefore, that's a 7. This 7 eliminates that 7, so it's 9, so that's 7. This 9 eliminates that 9, so it's a 6. This can't be 4, so the 2, 4 pair cannot be 4 here. So this is 2, this is 4. This can't be 2. Its last remaining digit is a 6. Therefore, this 6 means this can't be 6, so this is 8, which makes that a 7. This can't be 5 or 8, so this is 6. This can't be 6 or 8, so this is 5. This becomes a 1, 8 pair. This can't be 7 or 9, so this is 8, which makes this a 1, which makes that an 8. Therefore, none of these can be 1. This can't be 1 or 4 because of those 1 and 4, so that's 2, which makes that a 1. This can no longer be 1. This is a 2 because that's the only place for it, and this must be a 3. This can no longer be 2. This last remaining digit is a 3 here. This sees 7. 2 cannot be here, so this must be 2. Okay, to illuminate, this can be illuminated by this cell, so that's fine. Okay, this is 6, so this must not be a cave. It has to, oops. It must be a wall, which makes this cave. This can't be 1 anymore, so this must be a 1, which forces this to be 4. This has to be a 5. We have 3 and 9 remaining, so this is 3 and this is 9. You swing open a rusted doorway, revealing that you are in some kind of maintenance area for the castle. Even with your new lantern, patches of darkness obscure the cramped passageways, but you are certain you will be able to find your way out, and maybe even activate some of the disused features of this building. Fog will be cleared more effectively. Thank you. Enter 5 into this puzzle's boss cell in Sudokuvania. So we have to enter a 5 in this. Okay. Digits of despair indeed. We have a 5. So we can do 5 here. That's 5. Whoa. I don't know what's going on here. That's a lot of stuff. Anyways, we're at about the 2-hour mark, so we're going to put a pause here. Also, because that was a lot of stuff, and I don't think my brain can function that well in that case. So, anyways, I'll see you next time on the next part of the Sudokuvania solve. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make what I'm planning on doing. Well, actually, you already have seen this, but I'm gonna be making this essentially a. This is going to be an extension. It's not gonna be just part of the normal hard series. It's just gonna be an additional puzzle, but it's taking up a lot of time, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, I don't know. It's been kind of interesting. Definitely a lot of different things, a lot of different puzzles, a lot of different styles and rule sets that we have to take into account because I've never done an Akari puzzle, so that was actually very interesting. But yeah, this is probably going to be, I forget. I think this is the 5th part of this series, and I think there's still going to be quite a few more. We're going to probably take him in 2-hour chunks. So that's it for this part of the Sudokuvania solve, and we'll continue on in the next one. And I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.